Follow the exciting story of Elisha and his teachings on perseverance and unshakable faith. My name is Elisha, and this is my story. It all began when Elijah, a great prophet of God, came to me while I was plowing in the fields. I was the son of Shaphat and lived in Abel. That day changed my life forever. Welcome to Daily Biblical History. Today we will explore an inspiring message to strengthen your faith and bring peace to your heart. Leave a like to support our channel and subscribe if you are not already subscribed, so you don't miss any of the motivational content we post here. Elijah, the great prophet of God, passed by me as I was plowing in the fields of Abel. At that crucial moment, he threw his mantle over my shoulders, a gesture that I knew represented a divine call to sacred service. Without hesitation, I left the oxen behind and ran after Elijah, eager to follow the paths God had laid out for me. The feel of that mantle upon me was as if the very hand of the Lord were guiding and strengthening me for the journey that lay ahead. After being called by Elijah, a great prophet of God, to follow him, I felt an overwhelming mix of emotions. Leaving behind my family and my daily tasks was not an easy decision. By asking permission to kiss my father and mother before leaving, I sought to honor my family ties while preparing for a new journey. The farewell was loaded with meaning and symbolized the beginning of a profound transformation in my life. With a heavy heart, I left my past behind and launched myself into the unknown, confident in the divine guidance that awaited me. After leaving the fields of Abel behind and following Elijah, I was immersed in a period of learning and transformation alongside God's great prophet. Each day with him was a lesson in unwavering faith and dedication to divine service. I witnessed extraordinary miracles that strengthened my conviction in God's faithfulness. Elijah's humility and courage inspired in me a burning desire for a similar faith that could move mountains and defy convention. The years with Elijah were like a divine school, where each experience shaped my character and expanded my understanding of the heavenly purpose that awaited me. During my years with Elijah, I witnessed countless miracles that defied the laws of nature and confirmed the divine presence in our lives. Each miracle performed by Elijah was a tangible reminder of God's power and sovereignty over all things. Elijah's unwavering faith and courage in every circumstance inspired deep respect and admiration in me. His dedication to divine service and his willingness to face seemingly impossible challenges taught me valuable lessons about trust, perseverance, and total surrender to God's plan. By closely observing Elijah's upright conduct and firm stance in the face of adversity, I learned that true faith does not waver in the face of life's storms, but grows stronger in the midst of them. Each moment spent with the great prophet was like a heavenly school, where teachings went beyond words and were manifested in extraordinary miracles that echoed the Creator's greatness. Elijah's confrontation with the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel was one of the most intense and revealing moments of my journey with the great prophet. While the prophets of Baal called in vain to their God, Elijah challenged them to demonstrate their divine power by calling down fire from heaven to consume the sacrifice. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and tension as the people of Israel awaited the outcome of this spiritual clash. With unshakable confidence, Elijah prepared the altar of the Lord and poured water upon it, defying the laws of nature in an act of bold faith. Then he raised his voice in prayer, calling upon the living God to manifest his power before the unbelievers. And in a divine and breathtaking instant, heavenly fire descended from heaven and consumed not only the sacrifice, but also the stones, the wood, and even the water surrounding the altar. The magnitude of this miracle echoed throughout the mountain, echoing the majesty and sovereignty of Almighty God. In that solemn moment of divine revelation, all doubts were dispelled and the people's faith was restored. The triumph on Mount Carmel was more than a demonstration of power. It was a living testimony of God's unwavering faithfulness to his faithful servants. After witnessing the mighty miracle on Mount Carmel, where the Lord's fire consumed the sacrifice, the stones, the wood, and even the water around the altar, I was overcome by a profound reflection on the greatness of God. Every flame that danced under divine intervention was like a burning testimony of the manifest presence of the Almighty among us. That solemn moment not only reaffirmed my unshakable faith in the Lord, but also filled me with gratitude for the opportunity to witness his glory in such a tangible way. As the people of Israel prostrated themselves in worship before the living God, my heart overflowed with praise and awe for the majesty of the one who controls the elements of nature and guides the destinies of men. Every spark that lit up the sky that day was a vivid reminder of the divine sovereignty and unconditional love that he pours out on his faithful children. The moment when Elijah confronted the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel was a turning point in my journey with the great prophet. The atmosphere was electric, charged with tension and anticipation, as the followers of Baal cried out in vain for a divine sign. In contrast, Elijah stood firm in his unwavering faith, preparing the altar of the Lord with a confidence that echoed the certainty of his connection to the living God. The water running down the altar was a symbol of purification and total surrender to God, defying natural laws in an act of boldness and trust. And when Elijah's simple prayer broke the silence of the heavens, heavenly fire descended with overwhelming intensity, consuming not only the sacrifice, but also the stones, the wood, and even the water surrounding the altar. In that divine moment, the manifest presence of God made itself felt in an indisputable way, revealing his majesty and power over all creation. The people witnessed in amazement the Lord's response to the cry of his faithful servant, recognizing in unison that he is the only true God worthy of worship. After the triumph on Mount Carmel, where the people of Israel acknowledged the supremacy of the Lord, my journey with Elijah continued to reveal the mysteries and wonders of unshakable faith. Each day with the great prophet was an opportunity for learning and spiritual growth. I witnessed the manifestation of divine power in many situations, from miraculous healings to precise guidance for the people of Israel. The constant presence of God was palpable in every step we took, guiding and strengthening us in the face of the challenges that arose along our path. Elijah's legacy as a fervent and courageous man of God echoed in every action and word, inspiring me to seek a deeper connection with the Almighty. In each miracle performed by Elijah, I saw not only a supernatural sign, but a lesson in the loving and powerful nature of our Creator. Each moment with the great prophet was a reminder of the importance of unshakable faith and total surrender to the divine plan. Thus, following in the footsteps of Elijah, I found myself immersed in a world of spiritual wonders and eternal teachings. After years of learning and serving alongside Elijah, the most remarkable and impactful moment of my journey arrived, the day of the great prophet's departure. It was a morning like any other, but there was a solemn and meaningful atmosphere in the air. Elijah, with his divine wisdom and discernment, knew that his time had come. With serenity and determination, he asked me to stay in Bethel while he continued on his God-ordained path. However, I felt deep down that this moment was crucial, a turning point in divine history. I urged Elijah not to leave me alone, for I knew that something great was about to happen. So, together, we set out for Jericho, where the sons of the prophets warned us of my master's imminent fate. Even in the face of adversity and dark omens, I remained firm at Elijah's side, ready to witness the manifestation of divine will. It was then that we reached the Jordan, where an extraordinary event occurred before our astonished eyes. A chariot of fire with horses of fire descended from the heavens and separated Elijah and me from each other. In the midst of that heavenly spectacle, I saw my beloved Master taken up to heaven in a glorious whirlwind, leaving behind his sacred robe on my shoulders. With tears in my eyes and my heart filled with gratitude for the honor of having been a disciple of the great prophet Elijah, I cried out, my Father, the chariot of Israel and its horsemen." And there I remained alone on the banks of the Jordan, contemplating the grandeur of the divine work that I had just witnessed. After Elijah's glorious departure, I stood alone on the banks of the Jordan, my heart overflowing with indescribable emotions. As I watched the whirlwind that carried my Master to heaven, a mixture of longing and gratitude flooded my soul. The sacred mantle he had left on my shoulders was more than just a piece of cloth. It was a tangible symbol of the spiritual legacy and divine responsibility that now rested upon me. Every fiber of that cloth carried with it the memory of the miracles I had witnessed, the lessons I had learned, and the unwavering faith that Elijah embodied. With reverence and humility, I took my own garment and tore it in two, a symbolic gesture of transition and commitment to the divine calling that now rested upon my shoulders. As I gazed at the vastness of the Jordan before me, I felt the comforting presence of God at my side, guiding me through the challenges and blessings that lay ahead. Be moved by this incredible spiritual journey. Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content about biblical stories. I took my own clothes and tore them in two, reflecting on these extraordinary events. Are you enjoying the message? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this motivational word today, and leave your comment. We want to know how this message impacted your life.